this sacred day of independence, we gather under the shade of tiger. And the flag that actually represents the courage, the sacrifice, and the unbreakable will of a nation. The dream of the freedom fighters we could remember at this moment. Dream of India standing tall, free from foreign control, and there should be a map, a chart that should be only for India, for the world. And you know, the hosting of flag is not just about celebration of independence. It is much more. There should be such understanding or attitude that no external power, economics, or politics can dictate us or control our destiny. Nowadays, you know, all nations are interrelated, and as a result, economic sovereignty is as much as important political freedom. So, recently, you know, a dispute has arisen, and that dispute is related to the economic issue. In one sense, it is economic issue. In another sense, it is political issue. If you see that US has imposed tariffs, recently 50% tariffs on India. And tariffs is used for economic purpose, for the development of the industries of a country. And to protect, you know, in the world, or protect his own business. But if you see the trade deficit with US, the 10 countries, main top 10 countries, among these the China, Canada, Vietnam, Ireland, Germany, Japan. These are the countries. But all these countries has higher debt deficit with the US. It means that US actually importing more goods from those countries in compared to India. So there is a problem, you know. India's imposition of tariff on India is not related to the trade deficit. It is related with the India's attitude. India actually purchasing oil from Russia, and it is India's own decision because the oil price is low. India could buy, but US thought that, according to US point of view, it is related to the death in the world that has been happening. It's because of the purchasing of oil, Russian oil by India. And India is giving the financial support to us. But this is not. But you know, this is the economic policy of India. For the domestic benefit, they could buy, and no one can prevent it from doing so. On the other hand, India actually reforming, restructuring the BRICS. And BRICS is developing in such a way that the partners, the supporting partners, the members are increasing. Near about 40 countries actually are standing behind for getting entry in the BRICS. Malaysia, Indonesia already has taken. Iran already have taken the memberships. So new bloc is developing in compared to the West, and it is vibration on the surface of the Donald Trump's mind. The power of Western bloc is diminishing. So this is the dispute or no? So why it is important for India? India, US has imposing so much tariff on India, and the goods that are exported to US now will not get in the market, and our exporters, our industries will be suffering, and unemployment will reduce. So in this situation, it is a very crucial point for it. And US does not like to get involved in direct confrontation with India, as because there is a strategic relationship, and which is much more important and which is deeper and deeper. Strategic relationship in defense, in technology. And they are investing in Indian startup companies and climate change. So they are strategically involved with India, and US does not like to break this relationship. So this is a tool, tariff, to fear India, so that India will follow the US line. Aligned with US, India is a member of the Quad Nations, where Australia and Japan is there with US. So, but India recently said that US has actually played a card of double standard. Double standard in what sense? Double standard in what sense? It is related to UN nations and US actually purchasing other goods, not only oil, from the Russia. And the volume of payment is much more higher. India actually is paying for Russian oil. So why too much tariffs actually are imposed on India? And I have mentioned that there is a deeper geopolitical calculations at play. From these things, 3 points actually come out from this issue, from this dispute. Economic improvement, economic prosperity, economic sovereignty, is the security of India, and innovation is the defense of India, and also unity can never be non-negotiable. At the time of independence, actually we got the freedom from foreigners in 1947. At the time, we maintained the dignity and we achieved We achieve our goal maintaining our dignity. Nowadays, India also maintaining the same line of legacy as we have found in the freedom fighting, courage and wisdom. You can find these two words even in today. India, US actually tried to control the Indian domestic market, agriculture market, dairy market. But this sector is still less competitive. And if US gets the entry in this market, then these sectors will be hampered economically. And this will be much more bad for the Indian economy. And India, balance the attitude, balance situation, firmly protect its industries, not only industries, and diplomatically maintain the relation and try to control the long-term understanding between US and India. In this moment, three things. In this moment, the unity among the government, industry, and citizens are required. I have mentioned the citizens. Citizens should prefer Indian goods, but they should demand excellence in that goods so that our goods actually competitive and survive in the global market. Our freedom fighters, Mahatma Gandhi, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, many more freedom fighters are there. They told about self-reliance. But that is not true in 21st century. Here, Swadeshi means your product should be qualitative. And your power of negotiations at each and every stage of global deal, in the global deal, your power should be there. And this is the 21st century's Swadeshi understanding, self-reliance. Indian citizen, especially the young, they should be talented, they should be skilled, they should be productive, so that India be competitive in the world platform. Government role in this situation is very crucial. Industrial corporate sector also. Corporate sector is stagnant nowadays. Government's fiscal deficit is tight fiscal space, and inflation is under control, but this is the consumer price index. But food price index, if you consider the food price index, then it is high and it is hampering the purchasing power of the Indian. So Indian economy, there is a structural problem. There is a structural problem. And India should focus on that. This issue that is actually a must, the tariffs between US and India. Three things come out. You know something that is not good when some obstacles are there must be some pushing factor. And what are these pushing factors? India should diversify its exports. As if you have money and you are investing that money in one security, there is no portfolio and there is no diversification, then there is a problem. As you know, you keep your money in one pocket, then if there is a pickpocket, then the money will be lost. In the same way, only depending in the US is a very big market, and only depending on US will somehow restrict ourselves and place our country in a risky situation. So India should diversify its exports, and economic prosperity, economic powerhouse should be there in India. So on this sacred day of independence, we should take a walk. Or to make India economic powerhouse, to keep our dignity at each and every global negotiations, and we should diversify our exports, and also our coming generation should not only have a free India but also a prosperous India. You know, the economic battles are not fought with weapons, bullets, but by the ideas, skills, and resilience. So these things, these factors, ideas, skills, and resilience should be developed in the surface or in the ground of India, economic ground of India. Jai Hind.